Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SavvyCast. This is Jamie, and I'm thrilled that you're joining today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast. This is going to be a very quick, what I eat in the morning type thing, but it's really what I drink in the morning. I had some really, really good blood work, which I always have good blood work. But this year, which it was last week, I went back to my doctor for I had my lab work the week before, and then I did my in-body, which does body fat, muscle mass, all of that. And in my checkup with him, he said, "What have you been doing differently exercise-wise?" And I said, "Tim, I have not done anything differently as far as my physical activity. I'm still doing Pilates the same amount. I'm still doing weights 1 to 2 days a week, walking about the same." And he said, "Well, something is different because you have lost 1 pound of fat and gained 4 pounds of muscle." And guys, the only thing to which I can attribute that is what I'm doing in the kitchen, or as far in the refrigerator in the morning. It's what I'm intaking much more than anything I'm doing physically. So I'm just going to brush through some things that basically every single morning I do. When Zane is not traveling, I do it for him because I make his coffee. He will not stand in the kitchen and do all of this. He just won't do it. So I'm going to start, and I'm just going to show you the products. If there are any that are linkable, I will link to them. Here's where we start. In the good blood work, the labs, I attribute largely to the AG1. Every morning, Zane and I put a scoop in these solo cups, fill it with water. Sometimes I'll do lemon or lime, drink it down. I would drink my nutrients any day of the week over taking pills or having to eat a lot of food. But this is just good foundational supplementation that we do not miss. We carry travel packs when we travel. It's just great. So the coffee is brewing while we're doing the AG1, and I make us a protein coffee. I do not work out or start my day in a fasted state. I did that previously, but all of the research that I'm believing and following right now says you should front load on protein and try to get your body weight in protein. So I do front load. I try to get 30 grams before I go work out. Just 30 grams is what I try to get at breakfast. And I try to get at least 100 grams throughout the day. So while the coffee's brewing, I make 2 espresso shots, one for each cup of protein coffee that I do. You can get these, whatever machine you have. I have a Breville Briatista, so I use these original pods, whether you have a Keurig or if you have the Virtuo pod, the big round, disc looking, they look like little Bosu ball capsules. You can get espresso capsules for any machine. So I do 2 shots of espresso. I love this Starbucks blonde espresso. It's more smooth and it's got hints of sweet. So 2 espressos, and then I do this Whole Body Collagen. This is a collagen that has Forta bone, Forta gel, and let me see the other. These are peptides, and this is Forta bone, Forta gel, and Verisol. This is Whole Body Collagen by Designs for Health. If you were to buy your collagen from a practitioner, this is the number one that is sold by and used by holistic practitioners. But I'm going to link to this because it is the brand that I use because it has those 3 elements. So these peptides, they're tested, trademarked. So I do a scoop of this, and I'm doing this mainly for the peptides. I could do just a scoop of vanilla protein powder, but I want these collagen peptides. I try to do 2 to 3 scoops of this a day, but it has 11 grams of protein, but it has 12.5 grams of collagen peptides. So I'm 11 when I'm trying to get 30. So I do 1 scoop of this, and I do about half or 3/4 of a cup of vanilla protein powder, which 1 scoop has 25. So try to hit close to 30 with the Designs for Health collagen, and I use the Peachy Spoon vanilla. Love the Peachy Spoon's protein. It's the best tasting I've ever had. So I do that, and I put that in my little metal cup that I put in my machine. I put that in, and I put the 2 shots of espresso, and then I get my frother and I blend it all up till there are no clumps. So that's what I'm going to pour into the coffee, whether it's mushroom coffee or regular coffee. I pour it in. Again, I use my frother, doctor it any way I want to with sweetener, flavor, whatever. And that is the protein coffee that I start my day with. That and hitting all of my protein goals is number one, I think, in the fact that I had gained muscle and lost a little fat. Now, this is equally or maybe just barely under that routine of getting the protein. I have been faithful over a year, so has Zane, in doing creatine every single morning, 5 grams, small scoop. I put it in our coffee with all this other and make sure that it's dissolved. And I truly believe that this and the protein is why I have gained 4 muscle and lost 1 fat. I'm not sure if this helped me lose the fat, but I do think it helped me gain that muscle because this is the only thing that I've done consistently since last year when I was over 20 pounds of body fat and I was 4 pounds less in muscle and 1 pound heavier in fat. So the creatine and all of the protein. So I'm just going to tell you what else I add. I am now using ARMRA. I do it in coffee. I've thrown it on my tongue. We put it in water. Zane and I just throw this in every time we're drinking something, probably 2 to 3 scoops a day. It's colostrum, and you can study it. I just sort of use it because I'm thinking, hey, I'm going to hit it at every angle. It cannot hurt. And this is the #1 brand. If you research it all, it was started by a physician and it is the most respected. So I put that in. And sometimes I forget this or if I'm too busy, but I like to add a little Benefiber. Benefiber you can get anywhere. And this one I think is lower in sugar. I don't think this has any added sugar, whereas I think the other commonly known fiber brand might have a little sugar, but I do a little Benefiber. Okay, that is the morning coffee. And other than that, throughout the day, as far as, okay, so if I get 30 in the morning, if it's saying it's 30 in the morning, we've still got 70, 80 more grams of protein throughout the day. And I think what has helped me hit those goals is I have shifted because I know the importance of protein. And I know that to get that amount, you have to do a little mindset shift in the way you think about food and the way you just plan your diet. And it has to, or at least for me, it had to become food was just not that important. And it was I eat to live, not live to eat. And that my food choices are not what's going to be necessarily the tastiest, but what's going to give my body the protein that it needs and Zane's the protein that he needs. So I get a lot of protein drinks. I try to get the lower fat. And if I'm hungry in the middle of the day or I shouldn't be hungry, I will drink a protein drink that has 20 to 30. There's even some that have 42 grams of protein. So I'll just drink that instead of going and getting an ice cream. A lot of cottage cheese. I do a lot of taco meat that I will meal prep. I'll throw in some black beans to add fiber because fiber is also super important. And it's especially important for Zane. And I will give you an update on his. We always have our appointments about a few weeks apart. And his A1C had come down and he had lost 11 pounds and his A1C dropped. And what he did to bring that change about was during Lent, he completely stopped sugar. So that has been very, very astounding. Now, he works out a lot more consistently than I do, but stopping the sugar just did wonders for him. So, those are the things. And I try to, on special days, holidays, date nights with friends, I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to just order a steak with asparagus. I'm going to get what I want. But I think that, at least for me, the normal, ordinary days, I try to just do what my body needs and not feel like I'm missing out because I don't get to go get something that's just super delicious or, crave worthy. And I think that that has helped because nearing 60, I just feel like for me, it has to just be really intentional or it'll all start spiraling backwards. So, anyway, I will link to any of the products that I mentioned. I hope that this was helpful in some way. Always feel free to reach out to me if you have questions or comments. And as always, until next time, you have a fabulous rest of your day. Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the SavvyCast. If you'll take the time to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, that would mean so much. As always, thank you for listening and have a blessed day.